In the previous lesson, we have used many different dimensioning tools to add dimensions on this drawing, but there is a direct tool also which can be used to add all of those dimensions in your drawing, and that is dim command. So you'll find that tool or command on the annotation panel, and it is this big dimension tool. On the annotate tab, dimensions panel, you'll find dim command here. So you can use the command dim, or you can use this tool here from the dimensions panel or from home tab annotation panel. So I'll go to this annotate tab and I'll select it from this dimension panel, and now I'll use this tool to add almost all of those dimensions. So click here, and now we'll start with the linear dimension. So first I'll click on the first point here, then the second point, and now I'll click here to place the dimension. So obviously the first dimension has been placed. Now similarly, if you directly go to the line instead of selecting the points, you can see that now again we have the same linear dimension. Now if you want to place a aligned dimension on this kind of dimensioning, simply click here and place the dimension. Obviously you can also create linear dimension. So for that, simply click on the first point, click on the second point, and now press and hold shift key, and you'll notice that your dimension will change into linear dimensions. In this case, since I'm moving my cursor in this vertical direction, it's making this vertical, and if I move it downwards, it will make this simple horizontal dimension. So you can select any of these dimensions simply by pressing the shift key. So I'll click here and we have this horizontal dimension also. Now I'll press escape key and I'll remove some of these dimensionings. Now let's go to this tool again, and this time I'll go to this circle, and now as you can see that we have this diameter, so we can add the diameter. Obviously we can add a radius also. So I'll once again go to the circle, and now look at the command line. So when this dimension is on the circle, you'll notice that the command line has more options, which is radius, jogged, and angular. So let's select R and press enter. Now the dimensioning will change into a radius. So now click on the circle and we can add a radius here instead of a diameter. Similarly, you can do that for this arc also. So here we have this radius. You can change it to diameter simply by pressing D and pressing enter. Now if you want to add arc length instead of radius or diameter, all you need to do is type L, and if you look on the command line, you'll notice that L has been highlighted in this arc length option. That's why we need to enter L. Now type L, press enter, and now instead of radius or diameter, we have this arc length here. Now let's look at the next option, which was angular. And to add angular dimensions, you simply need to select this angular option, or you can also type A and press enter for this angular option. Now you need to select the vertices. So click on this line and click on this line, and here we have it. So the 90-degree angle has been added on this vertex. You can even select more vertices if you want. So I'll simply click on this line, and as you can see that we are now making this horizontal dimension, but that hardly matters. Simply go to the second line and click, and that dimension will change into this angular dimension. Now in case you want to add the jogged dimension, which we have added in the previous case, once again go to this arc and now select J from the keyboard and press enter. So that will start the jogged dimension. Now click on this arc and specify the center point. So I'll specify the center location over right somewhere over here, and obviously the jog distance here. So I'll zoom into this area, and this is the jog length, which is quite small in this case. And here we have it, the jogged dimension. Now, in order to add the ordinate dimension, you need to select that option from the command line, which we can see here. We have this ordinate option. So select the ordinate option and now click on the first point. So obviously in this case, if you follow this x-axis, so that will make the y coordinate, and I'll explain this logic later on in the upcoming videos. So click here, and that's obviously the y value of the coordinate. Now click on this point again and now follow this y-axis, and this will make the x coordinate value. So the x coordinate value of this point is 192.23 and the y coordinate value is 99.67. Now let's verify this result. So I'll press escape twice. Now I'll type ID, press enter, and now click on this point. And now look at the command line. So we have X as 192, which is here 192.23, and when you expand the command line, you can see the results, and the Y value as 99.67, which is here 99.67. So that's the result. So let's collapse this command line. So this was all about the dim command, which can be efficiently used to increase your productivity.